La La Land, City of Angels, Los Angeles, a sprawling metropolis made of highways and palm trees, home to Hollywood, Inglewood, and everything in between. It's a city that's filled with hopes and dreams, some fulfilled, some lost. People who are well off and those who are just getting by. That's the movie Shortcuts in a nutshell. It's an ambitious epic that brilliantly combines the stories of Raymond Carver, whose work is characterized as dirty realism, with the subversive style of director Robert Altman. The result is a rich mosaic of Southern California culture, unfiltered, unglamorous, and completely absorbing. Robert Altman was in top form in the early 1990s. He was fresh off a major career comeback with The Player, his satiric middle finger to Hollywood and the studio system.
Do places like this really exist?
Only in the movies.
Robert Altman's The Player.
Can we talk about something other than Hollywood for a change?
Yeah. Yes.
We're educated people.
Sure.
When that movie wrapped, he began development on his Raymond Carver project.
Shortcuts, a Robert Altman film.
You're in love. It just doesn't work that way. To hell with love.
I look at all of Carver's work as one story. And that's what I'm trying to do with Shortcuts, just give you just one look.
To hell with love.
Like Carver, Altman saw himself as an artistic rebel and industry outsider. Both of them were fascinated by the human condition and uninterested in adhering to standard narrative structures.
The story is really made up out of what you don't know, rather than what you do know.
Raymond Carver's widow, poet Tess Gallagher, granted Altman the rights to his literary canon because of their shared sensibilities.
I told her from the very beginning, I'm going to really take these stories and scramble them up, and I'm not being pristinely pure to Ray Carver.
I think that when you have essentially two geniuses coming together, there ought to be evidence of contributions from each of them coming together and making something new, and that's what really excited me.
The Carver stories aren't stories in the normal sense, they're just occurrences.
His stories are intense yet minimalistic portraits of blue-collar Americana, featuring characters with varying degrees of morality.
Can I go now?
No, ma'am. I have one more question.
What's that?
How many clowns can you fit in this car?
I beg your pardon?
How many clowns can you fit in this car, ma'am?
Why'd you take my phone number?
Altman, a director known for his masterful use of overlapping dialogue,
So cute.
and his ability to wrangle large casts together, was the obvious choice to bring Carver's characters to the big screen.
Can we have a little more butter, please?
Is that your face or your neck just threw up? You're out of butter.
Out of butter. Ask for margarine.
Although most of the adapted stories take place primarily in the Pacific Northwest, LA proved to be a ripe setting.
I think it's important that this is being shot in LA, too, because this place has become a kind of metaphor for our shock as a nation. People will act out in very violent ways toward each other. and certainly there are big repercussions for those actions across the country.
Taste so good. Ooh, your cock is getting so big in my mouth. So big. Oh yeah, baby, I'm just gonna lick it up.
As film critic Roger Ebert wrote, Los Angeles always seems to be waiting for something. Permanence seems out of reach. Some great apocalyptic event is on the horizon, and people view the future tentatively. Shortcuts captures that uneasiness perfectly in its interlocking stories about people who seem trapped in the present, always juggling. Take this scene, for example. Lily Tomlin and Tom Waits are a discontent married couple who have grown so comfortable in the routine of their arguments.
How come you don't wear your wedding ring to work anymore?
Are you such a bullshit artist?
You're the one chipping away at our mansion of love, baby. Not me.
Why don't you go get drunk and pee on Armide's drink?
I'm gonna go get drunk. I'm gonna get drunk right now. God damn it.
Look how stupid you're acting.
Besides the combo of Altman and Carver, the other key ingredient that brings Shortcuts to life is the amazing ensemble cast. Just listen to the list of actors who all play major roles. As mentioned before, Lily Tomlin and Tom Waits.
I'm gonna get you out of now.
Plus Robert Downey Jr.
Hello.
Lily Taylor.
You're very lucky, you know that?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
So virtual reality is practically totally real.
Chris Penn. Tim Robbins.
You would like to hear about kids on CRACK? You can come in the other room.
Madeline Stowe.
Whose crack are we talking about, Gene?
Frances McDormand.
He's a son of a bitch.
Peter Gallagher.
Really? Yes, sir. This is your lucky day.
Lyle Lovett.
I'm busy. You come back when I'm open.
Jack Lemmon. Ann Archer.
I'm Claire the Clown. I'm here to do a party in the pediatrics ward.
Fred Ward.
Well, it's not as bad as an AIDS.
Obviously, it's not as bad as an AIDS.
Well, no, but I mean, when you come from California, don't worry about that.
Andy McDowell.
Casey, now you tell Mom exactly what happened.
Bruce Davison.
This is Howard Finnegan.
He was just
with
frightened.
thoughts to make you think.
Matthew Modine.
That's what I don't like, Marion, having to play this charade.
And Julianne Moore, who fearlessly bared it all, emotionally and otherwise, in the movie's most infamous scene.
You don't have any panties on. What do you think you are? One of your goddamn paintings?
The nudity is kind of a part of the way people live. I mean, when you think about it, the only person that sees you that way generally is your husband or your wife or the person you live with.
Other notable cast members to spot are classic 70s SNL host Buck Henry, Power of Love hitmaker Huey Lewis, and for good measure, beloved Jeopardy host Alex Trebek.
Isn't that Alex Trebek? Alex Trebek? Where? Over there, next to the one with the white hair. Is that Alex Trebek? It is, I'm sure it is.
Who's Alex Trebek?
In the same spirit that Quentin Tarantino adapted the words of Elmore Leonard for Jackie Brown, Robert Altman takes the Raymond Carver material and makes it his own. Among the adapted stories are Neighbors, in which a couple takes care of their vacationing friend's apartment and eventually inhabits their lifestyle.
These are strange people, honey. What's in here?
Bill, don't snoop, Bill. Don't snoop.
Why not?
You respect their privacy.
Why not snoop around with their hot fudge videos out? There's like dirty pornography.
What Carver also does for me is the behind closed doors thing. You know, you see people on the street and they seem very normal and banal almost. You know, but if you took a little time and kind of went into their window, like there's a voyeurism to the way Altman's interpreting the Carver stories, you know, through the windows, looking through peepholes, and sort of getting into people's lives, you know, that just on the street just seem very normal.
Your husband is a creep.
Go. Do it, I'm ready.
I love you.
There's also the story So Much Water, So Close to Home, where a man casually recounts to his wife the discovery of a dead woman's body on a recent fishing trip.
Let's take a vote. Fish now, or deal with the body?
I say fish now.
Suppose the current takes it away. Then it's not our problem.
You fished while she was in the water? You just left her there.
Claire?
You're making me sick.
And in my opinion, the most powerful and memorable adaptation, A Small Good Thing, about a baker who becomes enraged beyond reason when a woman stiffs him on an expensive birthday cake. And little does he know the reason why.
It cost me time and money to make that cake. I have work to do. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, well, you're gonna talk to her. I'm gonna knock you on your ass, pal.
How can you be so cheap and insensitive?
Lady, I work 16 hours a day to make ends meet. Yeah. I bake all night and work all day.
You bake all night? I thought you made phone calls at night, you bastard.
To link each story together, Altman employs a variety of clever techniques and devices. The movie opens with helicopters spraying medfly insecticide over the city, while each character is being introduced.
It's dangerous. Not dangerous. They wouldn't be doing it if it was dangerous.
Oh, yeah, go on, get cancer.
Then there's the music of Annie Ross, whose songs power the soundtrack.
To hell with love.
I like this one. The sentiment, anyway.
And underline important dramatic moments.
I'm only talking because you look like you needed a friend.
Not to mention the jazz club where she performs serves as a popular hangout.
I hate LA. All they do is snort coke and talk.
And perhaps the most ingenious yet inconspicuous linking device, bottles of ketchup.
People say, what is Shortcuts about? What are these stories about? I have to look for a common denominator, and the common denominator is ketchup. I mean, it's in those restaurants and diners across the country. It's on the kitchen tables of these American people.
Shortcuts' running time is just over 3 hours. It proves that no good movie is too long, and no bad movie is short enough.
It's to get you to feel or something. I've forgotten.
Robert Altman and Raymond Carver give you snapshots of life, from the mundane.
Sounded like you really got hot talking to that guy.
Right. Did you give JoJo his eardrops?
To the comic.
How come there's only one candle? Mommy's 29.
Sure she is.
Shut up.
And even the tragic.
Well, our son, Brian, well, he's been operated on twice.
Twice?
Somebody shot him on the freeway.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, he was just
just driving along, not minding his own business, and somebody shot him.
Oh my God, what's the world coming to?
No.
It's all about two sides of everything. Every time we'd see something, I'd say, oh, that's good. Then I'd think, now what if that didn't happen and this happened? What if the opposite happened? What would their behavior be like? And that's what this whole thing is about. One person's lucky, the other person is unlucky.
I came home, I told Earl our whole life could change. Earl tells me to go on a diet.
Shortcuts is a film that's as colorful and sprawling as the city of Los Angeles itself.
If you're looking for a rainbow, you know there's gonna be some rain. 1 minute you're filled with happiness, and the next minute there's nothing but pain. If you're a prisoner, and I'm a prisoner, I'm a prisoner of life.
Have a nice day.